Hi there, it's me, Mercedes Burgos-Rosas, again from Keller Williams Real Estate in Northwest Indiana, but again, I'm both Illinois and Indiana. Also wanted to reiterate that I am Spanish speaking. So of course, those clients that speak Spanish, we can go ahead and assist. Today, as promised, I'm back again with another one of my favorite lenders from Guaranteed Rate, Michael Elliott.
Hello.
He's been so kind to go ahead and give us more information that hopefully you will find helpful with regards to either applying for your first home, a new home, refinancing, whatever the case may be. Mike's going to go over a little bit about himself, how long he's been in the industry, some of the programs that Guaranteed Rates offers, credit scores, things that they look for, etc. So I'm going to let Mike take over here for you.
Thank you, Mercedes. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Mike Elliott with Guaranteed Rate. I'm the branch manager here in Crown Point. We've been open here for over a year. Guaranteed Rate's been in business since 2000. Some of you may know us from sponsoring White Sox Field. I've been in the business since 2003, was previously a branch manager at another company. So I've been doing this for a while and seen it through the hard times and into the current situation we're at now, which is a great time to buy.
Or sell.
Yeah, or sell. Interest rates have been climbing steadily right now, and the expectation is that that's going to be pretty consistent this coming year.
What are they at now?
Range-wise, you're going to be anywhere from lower fours somewhat up to low fives, depending on your credit score, your loan to value, and the type of program that you qualify for.
See, you want to get a move on it because rates are going up, as he stated.
Yeah, and the main thing is to provide options for people based upon where they're at and what their goals are. I always ask people what their goals are, what they'd like to do, where they see themselves in the next, anywhere from 3 to 15, 20 years. So some people might be buying their first home, and some people might be moving up from their previous home that they've had, and they're ready to purchase the next one. Luckily, we're in a hot market, an area that is desirable, and a lot of people moving over here. A little bit about myself is I'm from South Side Chicago. Grew up in, South suburbs. Grew up there. Grew up there all my life, and moved to Northwest Indiana back in 2004, and still work with people over in Illinois. That's where I'm from. So
you guys are able to do loans for Illinois, Indiana?
We're nationwide.
Okay, great. So just want to make sure. Well, I guess since they sponsor Sox Park Guaranteed Rate, which is my children's favorite team. My husband's a Cubs fan, so we have a divided home. But hey, I watch both. I was raised with both. But
I'm a Cubs fan, but I probably wound up at more Sox games growing up because of accessibility and where it was located when I was young.
That and God knew you were going to end up working here, right? So
yeah,
he was preparing you.
Right, got me already. But this is a fantastic company. It gives us a lot of knowledge to be able to use. We have an awesome leader and team everywhere. So our goal is to work with the best of the best and to help everybody, and to try to consult first and find out where the buyer's at, what they need to do in order to move forward, and to be able to communicate that and set the right expectations.
So with that being said, what is one of the lowest credit scores that you're able to work with? And then maybe if they're a little bit below that, is there anything that you guys can do to help them prepare to get to that?
Yeah, well, we do go down to 580s as far as credit scores on government loans, so FHA, and then dealing with like VA loans. But we need to, in those circumstances, a lot of times the buyer may need their own cash just for the decision when it runs through, and possibly reserves in order to be approved. But it depends, too, on what their income levels are, what the circumstances were on the credit, and if it can be overcome. So sometimes there's some compensating factors that help that person be approved.
Great. So then right now being tax time, and I know quite a few of you are probably getting some returns, the refunds, that possibly you might want to leave that in the bank and then go ahead, and if you feel you're ready to make that move, contact a lender like Mike to go ahead and go over those options. Because like you said, you're going to need some reserves already. Even percentages down that they'll need for the homes, be it if you go FHA, conventional, whatever the case may be.
So your down payment requirements are going to be anywhere from 3%, and then once you put down 20%, you have the opportunity to not have the mortgage insurance,
which is huge.
Right. But if you're moving in, we have a jumbo program in-house to where, it could be as low as 10% down with no MI, no mortgage insurance.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it helps with purchasing power. It's handled in-house. It's a product that's, ours, and we're able to underwrite it here and kind of move things through quickly. As long as the buyers, the main thing is the buyer has to be in too.
Okay.
So it's it's a group effort to help things go through the process.
So then this morning, I came in and they were going over a couple of new programs and things that Guaranteed Rate offers. So I definitely wanted Mike to touch upon some of those, if you don't mind.
Sure. One of the things that I pointed out to was our Approval Express. What this is it's an opportunity to say, maybe there's some circumstances that are within the pre-approval that maybe we want some more information about, or possibly things didn't work out with another lender, and you're in the midst of trying to move quickly. As a real estate agent, you want to make sure that they're good to go if
Yes.
I'm going to hand out a pre-approval.
Yes, I want to make sure you're good.
So if I have a full file, income, assets, and I'm able to put this together and explanations for certain things, I can send this up. And once we receive the information, depending on the time of day, our commitment is to try and have a 4-hour turnaround time on underwriting.
Oh my God. That's
Right.
amazing.
Well,
4 hours? Okay.
that's our commitment. It's a no cost Red Arrow Express is what it's called. But we get a full underwriting approval, have a commitment in hand so that you can make an offer with confidence.
Okay.
You know exactly where you are. And my job is to make sure that that buyer feels empowered to go and make an offer, that they understand the type of, the assets that they're going to have, what their payment's going to be, make sure that it fits their goals and their budget.
Exactly.
And they're ready to move forward at that point. So they're not out there just kind of blowing in the wind or worried about the circumstances.
Yes, because that's one of the things is I understand, and that's why we want to do these videos is because it can be stressful and frustrating, especially if it's your first home and you really don't know what the process is like. And, you might want to talk to one person and they explain to you one way, but then there could be surprises along the way. And one of the biggest things that I'm trying to avoid are those surprises along the way so that you're better prepared to be able to go into that new home, downsize if maybe you're becoming an empty nester. Can't talk today. Like many of us nowadays. Well, you have little ones still too. I have little ones too, but
I have big and little.
Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. It's a gamut. But then somebody who might want to relocate and retire somewhere else, or they're moving into a bigger home because they had children. I mean, so there's always those different things that knowing the different programs that are out there is a little bit more helpful, and then knowing what you need to do, like what they need to apply. I mean, what kind of, because I know with tax time coming up, 2 years worth of taxes, 1099s, W-2s.
Right.
I mean,
if you're self-employed, we're going to need to see 2 years of, tax returns. If you have corporate tax returns, we want to get those together so that we calculate the income properly, so that there's no surprises or snafus in the middle of the deal. Main thing I would stress is to be completely honest upfront, share all the information, because our goal is to get you into a house and to help you obtain, a home and become a homeowner. So the more information we know up front and we ask all those questions, the easier the process will go as we move forward.
Now, self-employed people, because that would basically be me too, as an independent contractor, as a realtor. I know that a lot of people, especially those people who might even own rental properties, this is key. If they show a lot more of a loss than a gain, is that hurtful to their process?
It could be. It depends on where the write-offs are at and what's able to be added back into the income and being able to go through that. We actually have, we have a program Loan Beam to where if they have some complex tax returns, we can send that in as a guidance to help see that back. And sometimes it's within an hour to let us know that information. It's not like back in the day where we'd spread out all the tax returns on the table and try to figure out the income all day long. But it at least gives us guidance and make sure, my job is to look it over to make sure that they've given us the right income and then be able to proceed from there. And at that point, too, it allows me to ask for more information, or it uncovers things that maybe I need a little more info on in order to move forward with the self-employed borrower.
Great. No, sounds good. Now, the other, besides Approval Express, there was a few other things I think you had mentioned before in the past. There was like a 3%, and there's matching. There's different programs. So that was one thing that I also wanted him to go ahead and go over, because then you did mention VA. because I know that's another thing right
Sure.
now, huge with veterans and things like that.
Definitely. We love our veterans and we want to make sure that
Awesome.
they're taken
Again, thank
care
you
of.
for your service.
Yeah, no doubt. Some of the main things is on a pre-approval, I want to make sure too that not only have I looked over income, things along those lines, but I want to make sure that I have a certificate of eligibility.
Okay.
That's usually, we initially ask for the DD 214 so that I can get the certificate of eligibility to make sure that, there are times that you could be in the middle of a deal and find out that you don't have enough service points and are able to move forward.
Okay.
So if you are a veteran now and you're looking to purchase a home, if you're able to start the process by getting a copy of your certificate of eligibility or reaching out to the VA, you can do that because if you come prepared with that information, that just saves time and one extra step that we need to do in order to get you out to put an offer on a house because it is competitive now and any delay could cause you from obtaining that house because there's multiple offers right now.
You said DD 214, correct?
Correct.
So that would be the form that you guys, which of course vets all know your discharge paperwork.
Right.
Other than that, like any first-time home buyer programs or?
There's various programs, conventionally with 3% down. The difference between FHA and conventional, it all depends on what you're looking to do. Where payment is, what you have available to you. The conventional way is that, eventually you'll be able to get rid of the mortgage insurance once you hit 78% loan to value.
Okay.
Once you're around 80%, you have the opportunity to either refinance or have an appraisal done and see if they'd be able to remove the MI at that time, depending on the servicer. With FHA, you can put down as little as 3.5%. If you're to put down at least 10%, you'd know that the mortgage insurance would go away after 11 years, roughly. However, if you put down less, the mortgage insurance will be on there for the life of the loan. And to revert back to the VA that we were speaking of, the VA does have an upfront funding fee, and that's paid to the government.
Okay.
But if they were discharged due to a disability, they may be able to waive that fee depending on the circumstances. Another program is we have a give to you to where once a customer is able to come up with 3% of their own money, that we have the opportunity then to provide up to 2% towards either closing costs or the down payment. But that's income driven, depending on where your income levels are, where the home is located. So there may not be anything on there as far as like whether or not it's within a market or an area demographic that's going to be able to handle the program and be eligible for it. There's other programs too, as far as USDA, if you're in a rural area, which could be up to 100% financing.
Oh, wow.
So there's a multitude of opportunity here as far as like trying to find the right program, the right fit. We work with over 40 investors here at Guaranteed Rate. So we have an opportunity to at least find something, and we work kind of, together. So we share information, scenarios, online nationwide, and everybody chimes in to help one another so that we can keep the process moving. Once we gather that information, ease of access as far as an application, I can send you an app from my phone, which is basically my digital business card, and someone can start filling out the application right there.
Oh, that's great.
Or they could look at the intuitive loan finder, say, what are you looking for? Where do you want to be at? And they're saying, based off the information you said, this is kind of what seems to be the program to fit. Doesn't mean that that's a program you have to go to, but it at least gives the person more information, an opportunity to move forward. In the process, fill it out either from their phone. I could either send an email or from the Gateless account that we have for realtors. They can put in the customer's email address. It sends them a nice email on what to do and instructions. They begin to fill it out. It's then uploaded, and my part is to go over that information, make sure that it's correct, and find out exactly what their goals are.
Fantastic.
And try to fit a product to it.
Well, it seems like you guys have a nice, speedy process, which is nice because I know a lot of people are, especially where they're going through the process, a lot of people are anxious and they want to know, where am I, where do I stand? What do I need? What's the updates? How are things going? How fast can I close on this house?
Right.
Of course, especially, if their first home, they're like, I just, it's that excitement. And I love when sit at the closing table with someone who never thought they were going to be able to get a first home and they're now moving their family to their first home. And I'd say that's one of the best feelings to watch a family be able to do that. Now, the other thing, because we did touch upon the 580 credit, your lovely assistant that I love to call and bother every now and then, Allie Owens, which you can go ahead and contact her at the office too. We'll give everybody's contact information at the end here.
Yes.
She had mentioned there was a simulator that would help people, that gives them what if scenarios if they're not quite at that credit score yet.
Correct. We can always look that over. I'm not a credit counselor, so I want to make sure that I'm anything. It's a what if. If there's no guarantees that if they were to do this or do that, but it at least gives them an idea as to, hey, this is kind of what's hampering you right now. This is what's hurting your credit scores. What kind of money do you have available to maybe take care of some of these prior, events that have happened on your credit, and go from there. But it at least, sometimes I've worked with people up to a year and a half, and then they've eventually been able to purchase, or take advantage of a renovation loan after they're ready to go, because they may find a house or an area that they want to be in, but they may not quite qualify, or the house might not qualify because it's not, ready to be financed or anybody to back it. But as far as putting financing on it, but you can always do a renovation loan. And I've seen people
203Ks.
Correct. Yeah, we have that, or we also have an option that's on the conventional side as well, depending on what they're looking to do. But it's really an opportunity to put some money into the house, make it the way you want it. As far as your kitchen, maybe update the bathrooms, maybe get rid of that avocado green, shag. I don't know how much of that's still around.
Kitchen.
But, sometimes the knotty pine, but maybe it's making a comeback. But it just gives an opportunity, though, to buy in an area, refurbish a house, helps improve the neighborhood. You're able to close before the work is done, and you're able to move more inventory and get on to the next house, so that we are able to have, more houses to purchase, I guess, in the area, for lack of a better word.
So if there's a home that you've been eyeballing that maybe is not ready, but it's on the market and it's in your area or the area you want to be at, not quite up to par yet, if HA wouldn't approve that out bat, you can go ahead and probably contact Mike and find out what a 203K entails, so that you'd be able to go ahead and get the money to actually go ahead and have that home repaired, which would have to be by licensed contractors.
Right.
And
And they work with an in-house specialist.
Okay, great. So I just want to make
sure.
our
people, that's all they do, and they're excellent at it. And I think we've closed maybe about 4 to 5 just in the past 5 months, just because people couldn't find inventory, but they found a house. And once they were done with it, they wound up with equity in the house, more than what they've put into it.
That's awesome. Now, that's something that everybody needs to remember. Equity is huge when it comes to buying a home. If you can walk away with more equity in that home than when you started off, you're in a really good place.
It's a great way to build wealth, and that's one of the biggest choices too. Is first-time home buyers. They never thought they were going to buy anything, and now they have an opportunity to own a house, build wealth, build equity in that house that they're able to pass down to the next generation or somebody else, or to use that money later to move up to the next house, which then now they have something to pass down to either their children or other family members, or whatever it might be. But I don't know. That's a good thing about doing this business too.
Exactly. Well, Mike, I know you guys have a busy day ahead of you. Phones and things have been ringing since I walked in, and I got a couple of clients I need to get back to, which I haven't forgotten about you guys. Let's see here. So basically, if they did want to go ahead and contact you, what would be the best way?
No, you can always reach me on the office line, which is 219-227-3581. My cell phone, text me, call me, 708-218-1881. And once we're in contact, I'll send you over information. You can actually go to my website as well and take a look at things. I'm on Facebook, so you can find me that way. And
it's Michael P. Elliott on Facebook, or just Michael Elliott? Elliott, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Double L, double T.
Yeah.
You can find me at Michael P. Elliott, or just search Michael Elliott, Guaranteed Rate, Crown Point. And should be able to get us, get the conversation started. And we're always here to help, answer questions, and move forward with things.
And when you call the office, more than likely, if you don't get a hold of Mike, you'll get a hold of Allie, as we mentioned earlier. And she's been awesome in helping with lots of things, especially with marketing. Also, you can reach me, Mercedes Burgos-Rosas, again, Keller Williams, 773-780-9602, 773-780-9602, or via email, mercedesrealtyinc@gmail.com. And otra vez, si habla español, si necesitan ayuda en español, nosotros podía ayudar, which, by the way, we could probably go ahead and have somebody help them out for some of the Spanish-speaking clients here. Yeah. Also, they have someone who can go ahead and help. So definitely looking forward to getting to talk to all of you. Once again, once this video is up and posted, definitely would want to hear from you guys if you found this helpful. If you have any questions for Mike directly, I can get those to him or contact him.
Or reach out on the site, I guess, where it's
Exactly,
posted.
on
We'll follow it.
Facebook, YouTube, and all the other lovely places this will be. We'll go ahead and just comment. Let us know if it is, you do find this helpful, so we can continue to go ahead and provide you guys with information that we hope will go ahead and help you to be successful with real estate and with regards to your family, your life, future, etc. So once again, have a wonderful and blessed day. It was a pleasure spending time with you guys.